up guys, I'm Cheney. Welcome back to my channel, a place where you can find all things self-development, lifestyle and intentional living. This week I'm going to be talking to you about how you can Instagram like an influencer. All of the tips and tricks that they have and the arts of mastering an absolutely beautifully aesthetic Instagram. Step number one that all your favourite Instagrammers do is decide on an Instagram theme. It's an aesthetic that they keep to that makes all of their photos look cohesive. At the very least, this is just picking a colour theme to run through all of your photos, so making sure that every single one of your photos has white in it, or brown, or blue, or whatever that photo colour may be for you. It doesn't matter whether it's on an accessory, whether it's a wall in the background, whether it's something that you're wearing, as long as that colour is running through every single one of your photos, it will tie all of your photos together and make them look like they go. The second type of way you can make sure you've got the same theme running through all of your photos, which in my opinion is the most flexible, is to pick a filter to edit all of your photos with. So it's the same filter for every single photo. In my opinion, this is more flexible because it means it doesn't limit the content you can take, so it doesn't matter if that one colour isn't in this particular area you may be taking a photo. As long as you edit with the same filter, you will keep the same tonal palette of colours throughout and your photos will look cohesive. For example, some Instagrammers to show you, Tashi Tinks, you'll notice that she always has moody brown, neutral, nude colours in every single one of her photos. So not only does she keep the same visual aesthetic in terms of colours running through her theme, she does also edit her photos with the same filter. So she has like a double thing going on here. Her Instagram is completely unique to her and is always on point. She's definitely a great person to model if you're looking to get some inspiration. Another one is Michelle B. I absolutely love Michelle B both on YouTube and Instagram. She always has this whole dreamy pink like cozy look going on in her photos. Now you'll notice that she doesn't necessarily have the same colour running through all of her photos, but she does have that dreamy aesthetic. And last but not least, Yasmin Chanel. She actually has a few different themes going on through her Instagram aesthetic. So you'll notice that she always has either whites, browns or blues. That makes her content a little bit more flexible because she allows more than one colour, but you will see that she has got at least one of those colours in her photo throughout her feed. Personally, I do think the easiest theme to stick to is editing your photo with the same filters. I always live by Lightroom. I just love it. I have created my own filters on there. I also use colour tone to add an additional layer on top just to make sure that I have the same tonal palette going on and my whole feed is really cohesive. If you're not sure where to start with filters, you can always buy a filter pack from one of your favourite Instagrammers. Yes, this can be a little bit pricey, but if you really like the way an Instagrammer edits their photos, it's an easy way to get that aesthetic. Or secondly, you can download a million of the free apps there are out there, like VSO Cam or Colour Tone, that have free filters already populated for you to use. You can just trial them and see which one you like best. Finally, you can obviously use Lightroom like I do. It is for the little bit more advanced. It's a free app by Adobe you can download on your phone. You can just play with it until you find a filter or a vibe that suits your aesthetic and what you're looking for. If you're really stuck with how to get used to playing with it, just have a YouTube. There are plenty of videos and tutorials out there on how to learn how to use it. Eventually, once you get savvy enough with it, you can create your own filters like I have, which makes your photos look unique to you and your aesthetic unique to you. For anyone who doesn't know how Lightroom works, I'm just gonna screen record my phone so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so I will go to my Lightroom app. So as you can see, I did have a content taking day recently. So for example, take this photo. Now I do add a lot of tan. This Lightroom is where you get that tan look that all of your Instagrammers have. I'm pale as hell in case you haven't noticed, so I live for this. My brother always mocks me saying I make myself look too brown, but hey ho, that's just my personal preference. You don't have to do the same. So if you can see here, here's a photo that I have edited. If I hold it down, you'll see what it looks like before, and when I bring it up, you can see what it looks like afterwards. Equally, you can see that there's also some photos I took in some green areas, so despite the colour palette looking completely different, you can actually see that the photos still go and are still cohesive. So here again, this was the before, very bright, and I've just like toned it down. So I kind of have a moody brown tone going through mine as well. These are all edited with the same filters. So I say filters, it's just one. You will, with a filter, have to adjust it slightly to each photo depending on the lighting or depending on how bold a particular colour is, but you just tailor it down. There's just visually changing it, you're not morphing your body, it's just colour tone, aesthetics and lighting. So as you will have just heard me mentioned about content taking day, this brings us to tip 2. schedule your content, have content taking days. If you want to be on top of your Instagram game, you do need to be organized. People get used to what they see all the time, so you need to keep yourself fresh in their minds. If you want to build up a following, you need to be regular and you need to be consistent. The good thing about being consistent is that people get used to when you post photos, they know when to expect when you post photos, and it creates a level of anticipation. Maybe not at first, but as I said, this is about consistency and longevity. All you need to do is schedule one day a month where you agree with somebody else to come and take your photos for you, unless you are skilled enough to take them yourself. I commend you. You take your whole month's worth of photos in one day. So I did this recently with my friend Coral, and she was a superstar. It literally took us about an hour and a half. I just shoved a few different outfits in my bag. I kept my makeup the same and just changed my hairstyle a little bit throughout each photo, and we just moved locations. So most of the photos I took were actually taken in front of my parents' house, on their road, and just around the corner. So we really didn't move far. I just kept running inside to change my outfit. If you do decide to go somewhere away from your home, just bring stuff that you can de-layer on and off. It really doesn't matter as long as there is something different in each photo. Nobody's going to know you're taking all your photos on the same day. If you find that you end up taking more photos than you need for that month, then you can always just keep them in a backlog to store for when you have quieter months, or for example when your schedule's due to run out and you haven't yet taken more photos to plan in. This brings us to tip number 3, which is to schedule your posts. So if you want to make sure that you never miss a beat and that you're always on target and you're consistent and you're posting these same days and these same times every single week, which is what we want to get people used to when you post, you're going to need a scheduling app. There are many different apps that you can use this with. One of them is Unum or Unum, I'm not quite sure how you say that. Another one is Preview, which is what I use. Whichever it is that you use, just make sure that you schedule it. Now, none of these apps will actually post to Instagram for you, but they will ping an alert on your phone to say it's time to post your post. You can set everything up beforehand, and all you need to do is copy over your caption or whatever it is that you need to do and actually upload the photo. How often you want to post is completely up to you, so decide on that frequency, because that will also determine how many photos you need to take on your content taking days. I, for example, am aiming to post twice a week, mine on Wednesdays and Saturdays. It's up to you when you want to post, but whenever you choose to post, make sure you do your research. Have a Google when is the best time to post on that day, as there will be heightened peak times that most people are on Instagram, and you want to really capture that audience. Great thing about scheduling your post is that there's really no thought required. You've already done all of the hard work. You literally just need to post the photo. Finally, tip number 4 is to use a preview app. So I use the app called Preview to schedule my posts, but it's also what I use to actually view how my posts are going to look all together. Okay, so Preview is this little grid colored app in the corner. I've opened it up, so as you can see, I have put all of the photos I edited that I liked from my content taking day, and I've shoved them in my app. The reason why I like Preview is because it doesn't limit how many photos I can upload on here. I did try using Unum for a while, but it only let me upload like 9 photos on top of my Instagram feed, which for me was rubbish because I want to be as scheduled and ahead as possible. So this content taking day actually allowed me to get 2 months ahead, as well as using some backdated content from my trip to Australia. So I'm actually 2 months ahead of myself in my schedule, which I love because I'm an earth sign. So this is Preview, so as you can see, I've got a load of photos here. If you press down on a photo, you can actually just move it around to see how all the photos are going to look together. So if I scroll down, you can see what I've actually got scheduled for the next 2 months. So as I was saying, this is my Preview app. So you can attach it to your Instagram account, so it will always show the post that you've actually already posted, so you can see how it looks with your backdated feed as well. So all back here is my backdated feed. I went through a phase where I really just couldn't decide on a theme, and you can tell because my photos just don't really glue together that well. I kept changing the filter I was using. I was just really not on my game, so I've decided on my filter and I have set my theme. The photo that I last posted was this one here, and you can tell when you posted it because it actually has a little Instagram icon in the bottom right hand corner. All of my other photos with the clock in the bottom right hand corner are ones that I haven't scheduled. So when it gets to the day that I've set on my schedule, Preview will send me a notification to say it's time to post. So as you can see here, all of my feed looks really cohesive. It doesn't necessarily have the same colour running throughout, although you could say that I do have like moody, browny, orangey colours, greens and blues and whites kind of mimicked around. So there is a few colours going through, but my main thing is actually my filter. The arranging is a whole other part, which is what this Preview is for. So you upload all of your photos and you just decide in what way do they all look like they go together. So I've got these purple photos from my birthday, which I love, but they just really don't fit because the colours just don't go in my opinion. So you can move these around like so to decide how visually they look best on your Instagram. And then to use it to schedule, you just have to click on the photo and press the little comment icon in the bottom. You can write your caption in here. And then you can also click schedule your post, pick the time and day you want to schedule, and that will be done for you. So there really is only 4 main elements to this. Most of it's just being organised. So to summarise it, decide on a theme, organise content scheduled days once a month, schedule your posts, and use a preview app to decide how they all best look together. 4 tips, you honestly could get a whole month's worth of content edited, photographed, and scheduled all within 1 day. It does not have to take up a lot of time. It's just a matter of being organised. I wonder how many times an earth sign can say organised in a video. Organised. So that's it for me. If you did like this video, please give me a follow on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. Please do give it a thumbs up. And if you have any suggestions of anything you would like to see from me, please do leave me a comment in the comment section below. I post new videos every single Sunday, so I will be seeing you next week.